Hello, my name is Sarah Culver. I'm a social worker here at the Domestic Violence Shelter here in Campbellsville. We specialize in domestic violence issues in families and partner violence. Um, your name is Amanda,
Yes,
and is that what you like to be called?
that's fine.
Okay. Now, Amanda, I do want you to know that I'm here to help you in any way possible that I can, and I just want to let you know that anything we talk about today is going to be completely confidential between me and you, unless I find that there will be that you will be inflicting harm upon yourself or someone else. Um, does that sound okay to you?
hmm
Okay, so why don't we start off by you telling me about what you do from day to day.
I usually wake up about 5:30 before anyone else, and I make sure everyone's clothes are ready, both of the kids and Jim's. And I get the coffee started for Jim, and then I make breakfast for him and both the kids. Get the kids up, ready for school, on the school bus. And once Jim and the kids are gone, I do the dishes and start the household chores, vacuuming, dusting, sweeping, laundry if it needs to be done, ironing if it needs to be done, any dishes that I use during the day, grocery, stuff like that. Once the kids get home from school, they have to do their homework, and so I make sure they get that done, and I help them with it if they need help. And then when Jim gets home, I make sure I have dinner ready, and it has to be hot or he just gets ticked off. And then after dinner, the kids wash up and they have a little bit of time before they go to bed. And then I get just make sure everything's ready for the next day, and then go to bed myself, and it starts all over.
So it sounds like you have a very busy day trying to meet the needs of everyone else.
Yeah.
So how many kids do you have,
2,
and what are their ages?
7, and 5.
7 and 5. So you've really got your hands full there, I'm
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about Jim? How long have you all been married?
We've been married for 9 years.
9 years.
Mhm.
And how long did you all date before you got married?
About a year.
About a year.
Mhm.
So how is your all's relationship? Is it good?
No, it's not good. He's mad all the time and just crazy.
He's got a lot of anger issues, and
Mhm.
does he tend to take it out on you, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the only person who takes it out on, the only thing he takes it out on.
Well, I hate that you think of yourself as a thing, because you know you are a person. But what do you know? What causes him to get angry?
Anything. Anything out of the ordinary. His crease in his arm sleeves aren't ironed right, and he thinks for some reason one of the carpets didn't get vacuumed, or supper's not hot enough, or just anything. If he had a bad day at work.
Has he always been this particular about the household chores?
Almost.
What do you mean by almost?
Well, I mean, when we first got married, he was the perfect husband.
So this hasn't always been an issue?
No.
Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about what does he do when he gets angry?
Hit, kick, scream, push, shove, throw something at me. Whatever he wants to do in the moment.
When did all this start happening?
The first time it happened, we'd probably been married about a year. And then it just starts to happen more and more often along the way together.
So the first time was probably very upsetting to you,
Oh, yeah.
being, that you said he was the perfect husband, and then out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
We see a lot of cases like this, and, a lot of the times it's really nothing that can be seen that's going to happen. What about your kids? Do they know this is going on, or do they hear arguments or yelling?
They can hear the arguments sometimes. They're never in the same room. They've never seen him hit me, but they can hear it.
I mean, how do you feel about them, not knowing? Do you want them to know, or would you rather them know?
No, I'd rather them not know.
That's good. So you're not working anywhere right now?
No, not anymore.
Now, what do you mean not anymore? You used to have a job?
Yeah, when we first got married, I did until Jim got jealous because there were men in the office.
That can sometimes be unavoidable. So it's
Yeah.
really not your fault, huh?
I don't think so.
So did he make you quit your job, or did you kind of do it on your own to prevent problems?
He told me he wanted me to quit. He said that it was because he wanted to start a family, but that was just an excuse. And I know this. He just didn't want me to be around other people.
Other people, like, do you think maybe just men or just anyone?
Probably, but I don't know. There's no telling.
Well, I mean, how does this make you feel, whenever he's doing all this to you? I mean, are you, it has to really hurt you emotionally as well as physically.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it makes me feel like I'm not even a person.
Does your family, are they aware of any of this?
I don't really have any family. The only person I have is my mom, and she blames me for everything. She blames me for my dad's death, and so I don't have any support there. Doesn't even live around here anyways, so, and if I told her what was going on, she would tell me it was my fault and that I should be more careful when I clean up the house.
So you feel like you don't even have any family to run to at all?
No.
Well, since you're here, obviously, you're seeking help. What kind of help are you looking for? Are you trying to find a way out? Are you just wanting counseling, or?
I would love to get out of it, but there's no way I could do it and take the kids with me.
Why do you say that?
And Jim has all the money. He's the only one that works. He could hire a better lawyer, which he could get custody.
So I guess in a way you feel trapped. You want to take your kids out and you want to get away from this abusive relationship, but you're not financially stable to do so.
Yeah.
I mean, is Jim aware that you have these feelings, or does he think that everything is just fine?
Jim just, who knows? Jim lives in his own little world. So he tells me if I leave him that he'll kill me, or he'll make sure I don't ever get the kids, or that I'm locked up for whatever reason. He just thinks I won't leave.
Well, during our meeting so far, we've talked about, quite a few things. You talked about, your lack of a support system, Jim's abuse, your kids, all of the household chores that you have to do. To really help you, through this, I feel like we need to kind of break it down and start, talking one by one. That way we can kind of, break it down and get a plan for you. Is there anything that you'd like to start off with?
Probably the kids. They're the most important.
The kids. Well, what do you think about the kids? How do you think this would affect them? If you did leave Jim, I mean, how do you think they would be affected?
They would be heartbroken. They would probably think it was my fault, or I don't know, they might think it was their fault, but they would probably think it was my fault just because Jim always tries to be the hero and make me look. I mean, he tries to make them think that everything is my fault.
So they don't really know the true side of Jim as you do.
Right.
What about, their school system? Are they doing good in school? Do they have a lot of friends?
Yeah, they're average in school, and my older child has some friends that she can play with at our house, or she's allowed to go to other people's houses, a couple of other people's houses. But with our younger son, he doesn't really. He has friends at school and he has friends at church, but he doesn't, ever have anyone over or go anywhere yet.
Well, that's good that Jim, he allows them to kind of, do what they want. I guess you could say they let him have friends and, everything like that. Is there any other, main concerns that, or any questions that you have for me?
Is there any way that Jim will find out that I was here?
No. This is completely confidential, and we only want, the utmost protection for our clients, and there was no way that he could find out.
Okay.
But I really think that this has been a very successful meeting. I do look forward to trying to help you in the past and getting all this worked through. So if you don't have any questions, then I guess we will be meeting at another time.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.